What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a space stock, ASTS, and it's gotten a lot of attention because of the upcoming SpaceX IPO. And on Friday, which is today, it's gotten a really big pullback because of the failed launch of Blue Origin. It actually blew up. And a lot of people are wondering, is there continued momentum in ASTS? I'm going to break that down today on the technicals. First, I'm going to be talking about the background and give you guys what's going on with ASTS and all the rest of the space sector. And we'll go from there. So let's get right to it. So first I want to talk about the SpaceX IPO with an expected listing date on NASDAQ of June 12th. You can see that on June 4th, there's going to be a roadshow. On 11th, there's going to be final pricing and allocation of shares. And then on June 12th, people can finally trade, or retail can finally trade SpaceX. And so there's a lot of hype surrounding space stocks, ASTI, ASTC, SPCE. I'm listing out all the tickers that are related to space, ASTS, and they're gaining a lot of traction leading up to the SpaceX IPO. At the same time, the market's been grinding higher. There's a lot of speculation as to whether or not SpaceX IPO is going to mark the top of the stock market. That's up for debate, but as for now, let's just go along with the flow and play the momentum until the tune stops singing, right? So on Friday, Blue Origin rocket blows up on Florida launch pad. So Blue Origin is Jeff Bezos' space company, right? And ASTS actually has a few satellites that are scheduled for the Blue Origin launches. And so what happened following this, catastrophe is that, Wall Street analysts and financial institutions are expecting a significant delay to AST's upcoming manifest on Blue Origin. As a result of these complications, ASTS shifted its next batch of Bluebird satellites to a mid-June SpaceX Falcon 9 launch out of Cape Canaveral. So, a lot of things are getting repriced for ASTS, and that has caused a pretty big sell-off. I would say around a $20 sell-off, a 15% move on ASTS in a single day. Now, when you look at the technicals, things get very interesting. On the daily time frame, you can see that there is a support level around 100 to 110, and I'm gonna mark this out with this rectangle here. And you can see that it bounced perfectly right off the support. You can see that rejected here, and these are not like close rejections. These are far off around March, again on April, and then again on May, which is pretty recent. And then we got a pop above it, and now a retest. So this is a pretty strong support level on the daily time frame. You can see that price has tagged the 9 EMA finally. After an extensive move, we're up like 5-6 days in a row. And finally, we're getting a chance to reset the RSI, reset the MACD, reset the charts. And that's all I see in ASTS from a technical standpoint. It's just a simple reset in a continued bull run. You can see that the MACD is still remaining bullish, signaling bullish momentum. And on the 4-hour time frame, this is also where things get interesting because, we had this massive run up from the beginning of May, and it didn't stop until the end of May, obviously. But near the end, we started to form bearish divergences. Price action made a higher high. MACD did not confirm it. It started to roll over, and the RSI made a lower high. And so, a correction was due, and finally, because of the news that Blue Origin rocket exploded, we finally got that correction. But it was due to come. So sometimes technicals precede news. It predicts, what could happen to the stock. But it couldn't have predicted the news, but it's telling you that something is going to happen. And on the weekly time frame, you can see that momentum is actually just starting on ASTS. So after, I would say, about, you know, several months of churning sideways, we made a top in January around 130, and we churned sideways and we finally got a bullish, fresh bullish MACD cross in the weekly time frame. We just got one candle. Our side isn't even extended at all, and a lot of people are just calling double top, double top, double top on this ASTS move. Honestly, I beg to differ. This move is just starting. A lot of people are looking at this weekly candle saying, oh wow, it's a spinning top, it's a doji. But honestly, it could be a pause candle before resumption to the existing trend, which is to the upside. We actually got a flip with this candle from bearish to bullish, and now I'm guessing it's very likely that we're going to resume the upside in the next couple of weeks. So there you have it on ASTS. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Peace.